always seem to forget that working on GDs can be a struggle sometimes because they are the tightest engine bays for working on Subarus. You got like this big H-frame down there that you saw I had to cut and then bend out of the way to get the exhaust manifold on. It's on. The up pipe's gonna be a real pain. I still have the engine mount nuts out because I'm gonna have to jack up the engine to be able to get that 3-bolt up pipe down in there. That's one reason why I don't like 3 bolts. It's just a pain in the to fit in there, and it's a pain to bolt everything in. But you guys saw we have a ton of stuff to do to the GD STI, or to the 04 STI in this video. I was calling it GD. So what's going on, guys? How you doing? Welcome back to the channel. We're gonna be getting some driving videos of that car here soon. It is detuned right now on pump gas because I don't have any E, so it's only around 512 wheel horsepower. I'm gonna get some E later this week. We'll turn it back up to 732, and we'll go get some driving videos for you guys in it because that car is an absolute blast. There's a couple things gotta fix. The drive shaft is making some fun noise, so I gotta take a peek at that. We got an axle that may be damaged, so got a little bit of work to do to the hatch, but nothing major. So let me catch you up on the let me show you actually what we got for the 04 STI, and then I'll let you know kind of what we're doing with it. So we got a lot of stuff over here. I want to give a huge shout out to the guys over at Cobb and the guys over at Rallysport Direct. Like I said, my discount code over at Rallysport Direct is still active. It can save you guys 10% on some companies' parts. 10 out of 10 suggest using it. So this is kind of, I want to get all this done in this video. I don't know if that's going to happen. We have a Cobb front mount intercooler, silver core, black piping. We've got the Super Pro front roll center adjustment kit. I've been like on the fence if I want to install that or not. I kind of want to replace the power steering rack in this car first and then put those on there. IAG power steering line, Cobb pitch stop mount. We have a Cobb oil cap, Cobb, I think it's in one of these boxes. Coolant overflow relocation guy. We have a Tomei Catback. We have a Cobb downpipe. I did decide to swap to the Cobb downpipe. I am going to hold on to the Grimmspeed one for now because we have a lot of random projects that we use parts on. It's just with this car being external wastegate, there's just not a lot of room down there for the external wastegate and for the catalytic converter and the downpipe to sit right there. So we are going to be swapping over to a Cobb since the catalytic converter is farther back. So we got a lot of stuff. We have a mat right there. Wait, come back. Don't leave. For the sake of making the pile smaller, we're going to do this first. A fun Subaru Duralin oil cap from Cobb. Let's get that guy on. The oil cap. Way better than this Amazon special one. I'm gonna get the up pipe in, then we can get the turbo on, the downpipe on, and the catback on, and then after that we'll probably jump over to the front mount and start getting the front mount on this car also. You're gonna wanna try to get this thing as high as you can. It wants to come through, I can see it. I might be able to wiggle it through. Gasket, I need the gasket and the bolts. You know what, I'll just live life dangerously and use the bolts that Tomei gave me. No, I'm not joking when I say these 3 bolts suck. They do, they really freaking suck. I hate my life right now. I'm doing this strictly for you guys. Oh my God, I got it on. It's such a tight fit. I had to go right through that tiny crevice right there to hit the bolt. And you can't even see it, but it's like, it's literally on top of everything. There's this one here, which is easily accessible, the one right below it, which is easy accessible, but there's one in between the runners, that motherfucker right there. That is just such a pain in the butt to get, but got the manifold on. Like I did say, you do have to cut and bend the H-frame a little bit to be able to fit it. As you can see, the manifold just sticks out farther than an OEM one would. This guy's all torqued down, it's all tightened up. All the gaskets are in there. We got a 3-bolt gasket, our exhaust manifolded block gasket, exhaust manifolded block gasket. I also replaced all of the coolant lines off the water pump and the ones for the oil cooler with all new clamps also, just to minimize. They're just getting kind of old and grungy, so that's what I was talking about, man. The power steering rack, I'm just gonna replace it. It's literally being held together with zip ties and worm gear clamps. I mean, as we saw, worm gears will hold 42 PSI, but fluid is a different story, so. Let's get this thing put back on the ground, get the turbo permanently put on here, and then we can do the downpipe and the catback to knock out a couple more of those boxes over there. New water line can go on. All right, external wastegate's all put on there. Everything is all good to go. Turbo. Welcome home, baby. Welcome to your home. You'll love it here, I promise. We have snacks on Wednesdays, pizza on Tuesdays. I forgot to put the oil return line on here. Because now I need to get that on its home, which it just went on there. Okay, that was no more complex than I was making it up. Now that we got our turbo on. Time to get this guy on, which this is our downpipe. There we go. There's a downpipe. There should be a hardware bag. And then there's, how is that always at the opposite end of the box? With our new downpipe here, the only reason I swapped to this one is strictly based on catalytic converter location. So you guys can see the cat is back here at the end of the downpipe versus being right here at the end of the bell mouth. This makes more room or more clearance for our external gate, which we are going to need. So, it's because the car already came with it, so, and we can still run. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the O2 sensors tossed in. The stock O2, or the rear O2 is gonna go right here for the OEM setup. The wideband one that we have is going to go right there, so that way our AFR gauge can monitor it. We'll get this guy put in the car, and we can get our Tomei Catback put on here next. This car was catless before. For cars like this, I totally prefer them to be catted. They just smell a little bit better in my opinion, and we're not shooting for the moon on this. The entire point of this 04 STI, oh, okay, of course that's not gonna fit. The entire point of this 04 STI is to just be a fun little Subaru to play with. There we go. The downpipe is on. I'm gonna hop back up top and start getting the nuts and bolts in on it to secure our downpipe down. And then we can come down here and start getting our Tomei on here. This thing looks good. Ew. She's looking good. All right, so we got exhaust manifold on, up pipe on, external wastegate on, dump tube on, turbo on, downpipe on, turbo heat shield on, and pitch stop in. Next up, let's open up this beautiful Tomei box here to reveal the secrets that it hides, because Tomei, I know you hide some good stuff in there. Don't lie to me, Mr. Me-I, Tomei, to me-I. All right, what secrets are you hiding in here? You can't hide them from me. Look at that, you guys have turned me into a Tomei fanboy. I'm not mad, not even disappointed, because it is actually a really good exhaust. It is a little loud though, I will be able to admit that, especially in rotated setups. This shit is loud. Dude, these things are just beautiful. Tomei TI Extreme. What's extreme? Wasn't it extreme? Oh, this is gonna roll, ain't it? Don't roll. Cool. Let me open up these other pieces. I'm sure at this point in our lives, most of us have seen a Tomei. So, Tomei Extreme, not Extreme. Catback, literally Extreme. It's Extreme, daddy. So, Tomei Extreme Catback going on. This is gonna go well with our catted downpipes. Will sound like the Subaru Rumble that everybody loves and wants. I've literally never put unequal length headers on any of my cars, so enjoy it. I'm literally doing this for you guys because I promised you I would on one of the cars. So, to keep it traditional, like we're doing white and gold, or gold wheels on the white paint on this car, unequal length, Tomei. It's going to sound great. It's going to look fantastic. So, let's go ahead and get our Tomei put on here. They install pretty easy. We have a 3-inch exhaust right here that's going to go up to a 3-inch downpipe. Use the Tomei gives you these ones, but I really don't like them, so I'm going to use that one. Everything else is slip joint and uses springs to hold it all together. So it's pretty standard, pretty easy. I'm probably gonna fiddle with the exhaust, so I'm probably just gonna time lapse through this portion just because I wanna fiddle with it to try to get it to fit as good as possible on the rear bumper. Because one thing that I don't like about the Tomeis that I see a lot of people do is they have the Tomei stick out so far past the rear bumper. I'm not a fan of it. I want it to sit relatively flush with the bumper, maybe come out like ½ an inch maximum. So let me get to playing with that exhaust. Let's get that Tomei put on here. right, it is the next morning. Got a little bit late last night. We have our Tomei put on here. Looks pretty good. We pretty much have full exhaust on this car now. We've got exhaust manifold, up pipe, external wastegate, dump tube, turbo, downpipe, and catback all on here. So that takes care of all the hot side stuff for the most part. Now we're gonna jump over to getting the intercooler on. Now I'm not going to fully install this front mount right now because obviously we don't have all the charge piping in here, so we really can't put it all in now. But I at least want to get the core on. There is a little bit of trimming that we have to do on this front support here. I'll show you guys that, and then we start getting this guy put on there. I may need to relocate the horn. Actually, I will need to relocate the horns and some of this other stuff up front, but it's super easy to do. So this is our Cobb front mount intercooler. Well, this is the core of it. Now there's a reason that I wanted specifically the Cobb kit for this car, and that's because we have the JDM fog lights on this car, and Cobb's kit has a piping set up in a way where you can make it work for fog lights for the most part, because I'd like to be able to retain that nice JDM styling on the front bumper. So what we're gonna do here, I'm gonna go ahead and relocate this horn here, this ambient temperature sensor here. The ambient temperature sensor I'll probably just tuck down here. This lip right here, we are going to have to trim that up a little bit, just so that way the intercooler does clear that. It's pretty standard with a lot of front mount intercoolers on these older GDs. So let's get to trimming, let's get that core bolted up, and let's see how it looks with a nice front mount on it, because you guys know me, I absolutely love my front mount. All right, we got our intercooler core on. This thing looks absolutely beautiful. It's a massive core too from Cobb. So same intercooler I had on the 05 STI, except I had the black core. This one is the silver core. There is going to be some trimming a substantial amount of trimming we have to do to this bumper. All of this like ducting in here is going to need to be cut off. I don't know if I have any Dremel cutoff wheels. If I do, we'll get that cut up. If not, I'll run to Lowe's and we can get it cut up later. It's not a huge concern right now. Right here, we've got our piping. I don't know if I'm gonna get all the I don't even know if I'm gonna start on the piping right now, because we don't have everything up here pretty much ready to go. The intake manifold's not even bolted down, so it wouldn't really make sense to jump in there and start doing the piping right now. But dude, that core looks good. Let me get this thing back on the ground real quick. Yes, dude, I dig it. Dude, that thing looked good with a big front mount. I don't have any Dremel discs for that thing, so I might have some at the shop. I'll go grab them. I have to go to the shop anyways to go grab the EG33's valve buckets, cams, and some other stuff to ship out down to out front. So we're gonna take a quick break from this. I'm gonna get this thing warmed up. We're gonna go swing over to the shop and go grab those cans. I need to grab the valve buckets out of this cylinder head, and I already have the ones grabbed for the other cylinder head, which is already down at out front. I have the cams set aside. I have to send the cams and the buckets down there because we're swapping from shimmed to shimless buckets for the rebuild on the engine. So Jeremy said to send them down, so I'm gonna get the cams pulled out of here, get the buckets pulled out, label them all. Oh my god, I freaked out. I looked at one, I was like, where's a bucket? Get them all set up in these. We'll get them packaged when we get home, get them sent out this afternoon. Oh no, they don't suck. Came out, no problem. I'll set you down right here. I think he only needs the bucket. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. From the shop, I got the valve buckets and the cams from the 6-cylinder to send out front. I think the short block's down there just working on the other head right now, but they need those components to swap over our valve buckets from shimmed to shimless. Back on the 04 STI, like I said, we got a ton of stuff that we're doing to this car. I'm kind of just jumping around right now with the parts that I have and the things that I'm still waiting on. So the car needs all new brakes, especially on the rears, and the fronts are bad too, but the rears are especially bad. So we have a set of DBA 4000 rotors that we're gonna be throwing on the rear with some Hawk HPS 5.0 pads. I am a little bit concerned that the Brembo mounting bolts are going to strip, because that's a thing on these old ones. They just strip out and then it's a pain in the ass. So start on this side, and hopefully we can go ahead and get these off with no problem. 2-pin shim. Caliper should slide right up. left this one here in the line. Yeah, that's why. Got the rears all done. We got rotors and pads on both sides. The XS, it's the gold one. So these are the DBA XS rotors with Hawk HPS 5.0 pads. Everything in the rear at this point is pretty much new. So we have brand new rotors, brand new pads, brand new sway bar, brand new end links, brand new coilovers, brand new brake lines. This, like I said, this whole car needed to be refreshed. And I feel like the rear end at this point is pretty refreshed. The wheel bearings recently were replaced like 2 years ago, so I'm not really gonna stress those right now. And we have new wheels, new tires going on this thing, so it's gonna be immaculate when it's all done. That looks like exceptional. I love that. And then I wanted to show you guys these old rotors and pads. The pads themselves really weren't that bad. They had some life left in them. But if you're doing brand new rotors, just do brand new pads also. The rotors were, dude, like look at the grooves in that thing. You can feel every single groove in there. So these 100% needed to be replaced. That one was like non-optional. So this is all garbage right here, but I wanted to show you guys these old ones just to show you like everything needs to be replaced on this car. But I threw out my shoulder doing something. I have no idea what, but my right shoulder is incapacitated at the moment. So that's what we're gonna call it on this video. I have to go ship out that stuff for the EG33 anyways to get that sent down to California, so that way we can get our 6-cylinder back and get everything running in the STI, oh, the other STI again. The blue STI. I know it gets confusing. We got the WRX STI, the other STI, the coupe, everything else like that. So that's all I got for you guys on this one. If you like the video, if you like seeing this sad, neglected, poor 04 STI come back to life, you know what to do. Go and hit that like button, turn it black, blue, green, yellow, purple, silver, red, cyan, whatever color it turns for you. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel and you want to be, put it in one of these corners. No idea which one quite yet, but with that, I will catch you guys in the next one. So peace out, homies.